Hello everyone, and Happy New Year to everybody on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. There are going to be a lot of videos coming your way this year. I can feel it. There's stuff going on there. And I do want to remind you that we have an amazing online community that the link is in the description box below. And within that community, we have a couple of thousand people who are Course in Miracles students or spiritual practitioners. And the community has a feed like Facebook, but with only spiritual and high vibe content. So if you're a little bit worn out from regular social media, you might want to give that a check out. And we also have about 1,000 videos in the library. So there are almost 200 that have never been publicly broadcast on YouTube. So if you are hungering and hankering for more information, you may want to consider joining the membership as a New Year's gift to yourself. Now, we are having a little bit of trouble with the membership sign up, so please wait a week or so if you are interested. We are having some technical difficulties there, but I did want to just mention it on this New Year's Day broadcast. So let's see what Jesus has to say to us today for the year 2024. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. Your world is changing and shifting, and there are many challenges that you face as a consciousness. And we want to bring a couple of these things to the forefront of your consciousness on this January 1st, 2024. When you are passively allowing the world to affect your feelings, as in, I turn on the television or I click on my phone and information washes over me that I allow to influence how I feel, then you are creating unconsciously and often miscreating. So we have two things there that we're going to differentiate between. Conscious co-creation, which is where you are aware of what and who you are. You are aware of your thoughts and how positive or negative they are, and you are doing something about the negative thoughts, the judgmental thoughts. Or you have the unconscious miscreation, often miscreation, not always. But in that sense, you are buffeted by the winds of change and you are buffeted by the media. And if the media says, we want you to get upset about this thing, you get upset about this thing, regardless of the teachings that we have been bringing forth here for many years now. Now, why have we been bringing these teachings free to you for many, many years? Because you need them. And in this year, you are going to need them. So when you have listened to 100 of our videos, which many of you have, but you are still being buffeted by the winds of social media and the winds of the world, you are not practicing these teachings. And this is the year 2024 where we want you to practice what we preach. That means we want you to become master of your mind this year. Now, you have some big conflagrations going on your planet at this time, and many of you are being sucked into that vortex, thinking that you are being loving and compassionate, thinking that you are supporting, quote unquote, the right side, whichever side that is. But the truth of the matter is this war is none of your business. This war is a demonstration of vengeance, judgment, and unforgiveness. And if you participate in taking sides, then you are not helping anything, and this is where you are lost at this time. You are not helping anything by making one of the sides demonic and one of the sides angelic. What the sides are doing in this particular war, the one in the Middle East, is they are reflecting each other. One side has been preparing for battle for almost a century, defending themselves, arming themselves. And in that defending themselves and defensive stance, they are inviting attack. And they have brought attack upon themselves by their warlike defensiveness. On the other side of the coin, You have beings that are trained in vengeance and murder. And they are going to play out that role with a partner that is defending against attack and murder. And if you are able at this time to hear these words, we want you to understand that the lessons of that war are for the people in that war to see how absolutely devastatingly incorrect their path is. But for those of you that are observing that war, and we want you to question why you are observing a war halfway around the world, we would prefer that you focus on your life and you focus on your transformation, your spiritual transformation. But we are admitting and accepting that this is what you're up to. We want you to understand that this is a wonderful demonstration of vengeance and defensiveness playing out. You all do this too, and that is the lesson in this particular war. When you are prepared for attack and you are super defensive as an ordinary individual human being, you will invite somebody who has a belief in attack and a belief in vengeance, and you will be a perfect match. You will be the microcosm of the macrocosm we just talked about. So for you, the first thing we want to say to all of you in the West is stop watching war, stop taking sides, stop being convinced that you know what this is all about. You do not. You are being manipulated. And when you feel terrible about what you are seeing, in 2024, we want you to do this. We want you to stop looking at what you're looking at when you feel terrible. If you are watching a movie and it's frightening you and you don't like how you feel, turn it off. When you are watching a war story on the news and you feel devastated at what's happening, your guidance system is telling you, no, don't watch this, turn it off. And come back to the peace that A Course in Miracles is designed to teach you. We must emphasize this over and over again. If you look back at the last year, at the multiple wars and the fear-mongering that has been going on, and even so the years before that, where there was an intense propaganda program that you were all participating in one form or another, you must surely have come to the conclusion now that you need to master your mind, that you need to reclaim your power. And this is what is happening as you are being driven by social media and by the news. You are losing your personal power and your ability to create a beautiful life when you are compromised by weaponized compassion. You are the one that's going to lose. You are the one that is going to feel bad. You are the one that's going to get sick. You are the one that is going to have conflicts in your life. You are the one that's going to have problems because you are lowering your frequency. And we want 2024 to be the year that you decide, okay, no more negativity. I am only going to inspire myself. And we want you to understand this. This is a time in your history when you have access to everything. On your computers and on your phones, you have access to the most beautiful, inspirational learning and teaching material ever on this planet's history. And you are watching war and devastation and wondering why you are feeling bad. We want you to understand this is self-induced suffering. You have been trained in your society to believe that feeling bad for somebody else is loving. It is the opposite. When you express love, you always feel good. You always feel good. And we want you to really grasp this on January 1st. If you look back upon the year or the years, the most recent years, it's been a very challenging time on your planet. And you see that you have been buffeted by these winds of change, buffeted by these negative stories, and that you are not feeling inspired, and you are not feeling happy, and you are not feeling creative, and you are not feeling eager anticipation for the future, then we want you on this January 1st to look at what you're entertaining yourselves with and what you're watching, who you're hanging out with, what you're talking about, And we want you to make some changes. We want you to understand that you are suffering because of what you're doing and what you're thinking and what you're believing and what you're talking about. Now, some of you are going to have a very, very hard time with what we are saying, but this is the truth of the matter. All suffering is self-induced. And some of you will say, yes, but these people are being hurt, these people are being tortured, these people are being murdered across the other side of the world. And we say, you are not living along across the other side of the world. You are importing war into your mind. You are importing suffering into your mind. Voluntarily, you want it. And you will deny that you want it. But the truth of the matter is you would not be watching it. And you would not be taking it in and consuming it and allowing it to contaminate your mind if you did not want it. If you did not want it, you would not watch it. And we have to bring this to your attention because it is going to continue over this year. And we do not want to lose, we do not want you to lose any more of your frequency because it is going to impact you negatively, not the people on the other side of the world, but you. And so we want you to get back to basics. We want you to get back to basics this year. We want you to refuse to watch war. Refuse to talk about war. Invest in peace. Invest in your creativity. Invest in your freedom. Do not conform to unnecessary rules and laws. If something is very important, you can conform to it, but do not conform to things that are unnecessary. And ask yourself, why am I watching this disaster? Why am I feeling so bad? What is it that I'm doing? We want you to really contemplate today, January 1st, what is causing your suffering in your life? This is what your incarnation is for. Your incarnation is for you to understand that when you do certain things, you feel a certain way. When you eat a whole chocolate cake for dinner, you feel sick, and your body says no. And so you learn a lesson, and you say to yourself, I really do like chocolate cake, but I think I'm going to have it in smaller portions infrequently because this feeling sick business is not fun, and I have to look at why I'm eating a whole chocolate cake. What is it that I'm avoiding? What is it I'm trying to medicate? The same thing with your social media. What is it that you are avoiding? Are you avoiding a boring life? Is your life boring? Is that why you're on there all the time? If your life is boring, then make it more interesting. You have the opportunity in this world to make your life more interesting. And no, it doesn't have to cost you money. Your YouTube channels do not cost you any money. You can learn to play the guitar. You can learn to play the piano. You can listen to health gurus. You can do all kinds of things. And we would say to you, think of the time you spend scrolling on war times, scrolling on social media. Spend it doing something else. Invest in your own education. Invest in your own peace. And how do you do that? How do you invest in your own peace? By doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles, starting today. You may have watched the videos, but that is not doing the lessons. Doing the lessons is reading the lessons and practicing morning, noon, night, and often in between, so that you are training your mind. Because an untrained mind is a liability, and that is what most of you are dealing with. You are dealing with a powerful creative device that is untrained and working against you. And you will know it's working against you by how you feel. How is your health? How is the condition of your body? How is the condition of your life? We want you to take an objective look today at what is not working, and across the board for all of you, no more watching war. No more talking about war. No more judging one side or the other, because those two sides are a perfect match, and they are learning their spiritual lesson. Some spiritual lessons are very, very difficult and intense at this time because this is the end of a spiritual season. And some difficult lessons have to be learned, not only for those beings on the other side of the world, but for all of you too. And that is why we want you to study A Course in Miracles lessons starting today, practicing them if you have already studied them, because you are going to need a peaceful mind that is within your control, so that nobody else can control it. So we want you to understand that your New Year's resolution, of course, is up to you. We want you to understand that all is as it should be. We want you to understand that your guidance system is impeccable and continuous, and you will know that you are on track for your ascension by being happy and at peace, doing what you love for as much of the day as is possible. And if you cannot do what you love for a good portion of the day, you must look at what you can delete. You must look at what you are procrastinating around, because often your evolution is prevented by your procrastination. When you procrastinate, you cannot move ahead quickly. There is some fear, there is some resistance, there is some laziness. What are you procrastinating about? We want to encourage you this 2024 to up your game. And the biggest way that you can all up your games is to refuse to watch war, refuse to watch violence, and to use that time for your benefit, educating, exercising, nurturing yourself and others, but not to the exclusion of yourself. For many of you, you have this teaching that you must sacrifice on yourself on the altar of selflessness. But we want you to understand that training your mind and mastering your mind takes some self-centeredness, and it is the greatest gift you can give everybody that you love, so that you are functioning at peak capacity, peak power in 2024. We wish you all an amazing day. We want you to contemplate what we have said, re-listen to this, and please be courageous this January 1st and share this message. Many, many beings need this message at this time. And for those of you that are new to this teaching, that have just come across this New Year's message from Jesus, we would like you to subscribe to this channel and watch as many of these videos as you can, especially when you're sad, especially when you're lonely, especially when you're frustrated, especially when you're confused. Because those feelings tell you that you are off track and that your thinking is incorrect, that you're looking at things the wrong way. And these teachings will help you look at things the right way, as will our dear one's books. If you have not bought her books, do purchase the books. They are designed for this time. They are designed to educate you about your spiritual power and to assist you in your ascension process. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and I will see you very, very soon. Wow, okay. Yeah, turn the war off. It doesn't do you any good. Thank you everyone for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell, and you will be getting more videos coming soon. Bye.